Y'all ready for this?
Hey everyone, this is Rochelle from Multiple Passive Streams of Income. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And definitely click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So let's get into it. Today's agenda, I want to talk about my Hashflare account and my first withdrawal of 0.05 Bitcoin. That's very, very exciting to me. And I want to just go off on a tangent and talk about Coinbase with a little bit of detail for the people that are newbies and who have been sitting on the fence and haven't been quite sure whether they want to invest in coin mining. I also want to discuss what happened after the 0.05 Bitcoin withdrawal and where my Hashflare account sits today. I also want to talk about my latest investment that I did about 6 days ago in Crypterra.net, and I actually bought some Ethereum hash, which is different than Hashflare where I bought Bitcoin hash. I also want to give some good information about Hashflare versus Crypterra. And this should help people who are sitting on the fence or who have only invested in Hashflare so far. I also want to show you how to start an account with Crypterra, how to buy hash rate on Crypterra, and then I'll show you the 6-day results of the $270 investment I made into Crypterra. I'll show you why I only made $270 worth so far. And lastly, I want to just give out a shout out to CryptoRobert, who I find very, very informative. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So as of my last video on January 5th, I am showing you the screen print from that video. And at that time, I had 0.05794417 Bitcoin in my Hashflare account. And at that time, it amounted to $948.24. On January 8th, I decided that I'm going to take out the minimum amount that I can withdraw from Hashflare, which is 0.05 Bitcoin. The next screen print shows you confirmation of that 0.05 Bitcoin withdrawal from Hashflare. And it also is showing you my Coinbase screen print that shows the 0.05 Bitcoin going into my Coinbase wallet. The value of that 0.05 Bitcoin amounted to $760.31 on the day I withdrew it, which was January 8th, and it left 0.014775558 Bitcoin in my Hashflare account. One thing that I do want to point out is if you look on the screen at the top, you see the success verification alert that Hashflare gives you. But also keep in mind that there's a second part of that withdrawal, and that's you checking your email and clicking on the link inside of the email for that withdrawal to be completed. Okay, so let's get back to the 0.14 blah 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 Bitcoin inside my account after I made the 0.05 Bitcoin withdrawal. That 0.014 amounted to about $200. And since then, now that is now January 13th, my Hashflare account is still generating Bitcoin every day. So as of today, January 13th, my account in Hashflare is 0.0268443 Bitcoin, which amounts to roughly about $383.75. Also, if you take a look at the screen, I put together some figures to show you how when Bitcoin fluctuates, your Hashflare account is still mining Bitcoin and still increasing in value. So as you can see, on January 9th, Bitcoin was at about 14,247. It dipped down to $13,360 on the 11th, and now it's back up to $14,295 today, which is the 13th. And as you can see, the Hashflare account has been gradually growing, because no matter what Bitcoin is doing on the market, you're still generating Bitcoin from your Bitcoin mining. Okay, so to round out this Hashflare part of this video, I just wanted to show you the revenue forecast for the 21 terahash that I'm mining in Bitcoin on Hashflare. And if Bitcoin stays around this price, it's still projected that I can make $14,000 in a year's time from a $3,150 investment. Okay, this is the part of the video where I just want to sidetrack a little. For the people who just want to get more information about Crypterra, which will be the next part of the video, just look down in the description. What I always do is I put like a timeline so that you can skip through the video and only listen to the parts that you're interested in. But for this part of the video, I'm just going to sidetrack a little bit and talk about Coinbase. Because I know as a newbie, it's very confusing and you spend a lot of time trying to educate yourself and make good investment decisions. So the one thing I do want to recommend is that you just get your wallet started. You don't have to utilize it until you're ready, but at least the wallet will be there and ready to move forward when you decide to make your move. Now, Coinbase is one of many wallets out there, and I really only have Coinbase right now. That doesn't mean in the future I won't get another wallet, maybe Exodus I'll try, and maybe even getting a hardware wallet as well. But right now I only have Coinbase, which is a online wallet. And it's very easy to start. If I remember correctly, you basically have to put some information in when you register for the account, just like if you were opening an online banking account. And then there's a part where they're going to do some verification and link up your cell phone. And what that is just a text with a 7-digit number that comes onto your phone every time you try to log into your account. So it's definitely a good thing. It's called two-factor authentication, and it allows an extra security layer on your Coinbase account that allows you to log in, but you have to do it in 2 steps. And then the last thing is you have to link some type of source of income to your Coinbase wallet. Now, I know with credit cards, I think that's pretty instantaneous when you link them up. I don't think it takes that much time for that verification to occur. And it also, when you go to buy Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, it allows that transaction to basically go through instantly. Whereas if you link a bank account to your Coinbase account, it takes a little longer to verify, because what Coinbase does is it sends these small amounts to your bank account. Then you have to log into your bank account, see what those amounts are, and then put those amounts on your Coinbase wallet to prove that that is indeed your bank account. Also, when you do transactions as far as buying Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum through Coinbase, I think it takes about 3 to 4 days for the transactions to complete. So the advantage is that if you use a bank account, you are able to do higher denominations in your transactions. I think their limit is like $7,500 weekly, versus a credit card where you can only do, I think, $300 to $750 weekly. So obviously there's good and bad with both sources. You can link both sources if you like, or only one source, is up to you. But ultimately, this whole part of the video is just to stress that if you've done nothing yet, at least set up your wallet so that when everything is ready and you've made up your mind to do whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's, buying some ICOs or trading cryptocurrency, or doing mining of cryptocurrency, or just buying something on an online store that accepts Bitcoin currency, you have to have a wallet. So you might as well just start the wallet now and get that part over with, and then when you decide to move, you're ready. So definitely look at my link to join Coinbase. And if you click on my link, we both get paid $10. And that's a nice little freebie for both of us by utilizing my link. Okay, I hope that helps, and let's move on to the next part of the video. So now let's turn our attention to the next investment direction that I made. And as you probably know, when I invested in Hashflare, the Bitcoin contracts were $1.50 gigahashes, and now they're up to $2.20. So it's a lot more expensive to buy or to reinvest in Bitcoin with Hashflare. So another mining company has surfaced, and it's called Crypterra, CrypterraETH.net. And let's discuss the difference between Hashflare and Crypterra before I jump into the actual investment that I made. So I just put together a little side-by-side comparison of Hashflare versus Crypterra. And some of the points that I want to highlight here are on the screen. So let's talk about the track record. Obviously, Hashflare has been around longer, so obviously that makes investors more secure. Crypterra, I think it started around July 2017, so they don't really have a track record yet, and I can understand why that would make people less secure. Let's talk about the cost of the Bitcoin mining contracts. Right now, Hashflare is offering Bitcoin mining at $2.20 a gigahash, whereas Crypterra is offering it for $1.28. Okay, so much cheaper. Let's look at the cost of Ethereum mining. Hashflare has it for $8.80 per mega hash versus $7.50 at Crypterra, so cheaper again. Another thing to look at is the contract length. Hashflare, when you pay for the hash rate, you're paying for a year contract, whereas Crypterra, it's a 2-year contract. So when you're putting in not only your initial investment, which is less with Crypterra, you are able to gain profits for a longer time with their contracts. Let's also look at the availability. Hashflare has a limited amount of Bitcoin right now. I didn't see any limitations on the other coins such as Litecoin and Ethereum, and I think Zcash they have as well. And right now, Crypterra, because they are new to the game, they don't have any limitations yet. So they have, I guess, plenty of hash rate to sell to investors. Okay, another security type of thing, Hashflare has the 2-factor authentication where you have to download an app such as Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator, and you have to be able to log in with your login and password as well as the changing numbers on those apps. So it's kind of like a 2 layers of security, whereas Crypterra does not have any 2-factor authentication. So that kind of makes it feel a little unsecure as well. Also, it's easier to source your Hashflare account because they accept credit cards. So you don't need a wallet to start the investment. You do need a wallet to withdraw Bitcoin from Hashflare and that will go into your Coinbase wallet, where you would then change it into US dollars. But the initial investment to start your investment can be done with a credit card right through Hashflare, versus Crypterra, where you have to fund your account with Bitcoin and Litecoin. So ultimately, you have to have a wallet to convert your US dollars into one of these coins and then send that coin to Crypterra in order to start your investment with them. It looks like Hashflare and Crypterra mine basically the same coins, but I did notice that Crypterra mines Monero as well. So you have an extra coin there if you're interested in mining Monero. The other thing that's interesting is that the minimum withdrawal at this time for Hashflare is 0.05 Bitcoin. So you cannot withdraw an amount that is less than that. Whereas Crypterra allows you to withdraw anything over $10. So you can withdraw a lot earlier for Crypterra. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but the one thing that's good about it is you can make more withdrawals and basically give yourself a little extra security because you don't have to keep so much inside of your account before you can have access to it. So that's a good and a bad thing, I guess. Also, there is no withdrawal fee with Crypterra, whereas there is with Hashflare. And that fee goes up and down. As of today, the fee is 0.0007 Bitcoin. So there you have the comparison between Hashflare and Crypterra. And you're going to have to determine if the little track record versus the more established track record is scary enough that you would stay away from Crypterra. But the enticing thing is obviously the prices are cheaper, the contracts are longer, the withdrawals you can make more often, and the fees are less. But then you give up the two-factor authentication. So again, you have to go with the company you feel most comfortable with. But I will discuss what I did in the next part of this video. So now let's talk about my recent experience with Crypterra. I decided it would be a good idea to diversify. And when I say diversify, I mean not only using something different than Hashflare, so all my money is not in one place. Secondly, I wanted to mine a different coin as well because I don't want everything to be in Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin just one day just drops out of the sky and crashes, I would like to hopefully have an investment elsewhere. So I wanted to look at Crypterra as well as mining Ethereum. And if you've been paying attention to Ethereum has just rose and rose and rose and rose, and there hasn't really been a consolidation yet, which we know it probably will be, but the price is a lot higher and Ethereum mining is a lot profitable now. So when I looked into Crypterra and their Ethereum mining, there happened to be a sale going on where they were even reducing their good prices already down 30%. And that sale was supposed to end on January 10th, and it has now been extended to January 30th. So I wanted to do it, but let me tell you what happened. So after weighing Hashflare versus Crypterra, all the stuff that I've laid out in this video, I decided, even though it doesn't have the greatest track record, I wouldn't say greatest, but the longest track record, I was going to go for it because those prices really excited me. And so therefore I would have needed $1,912 to buy some Ethereum hash rate from Crypterra. I go to my Coinbase wallet because remember, if you're purchasing hash rate, you have to purchase it in Bitcoin or Litecoin. So I go to buy the Litecoin and I totally forgot that Coinbase only allows you to do credit card transactions of $300, and I think it could go up to $750. I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. But ultimately, my Coinbase wallet allows me to do $300 weekly. So that was a bummer. I wasn't able to get to the $1,900 $312 worth of Ethereum mining. But you may ask, well, why didn't you just hook up your bank account and do it that way? Because the minimum, I think the weekly limit for bank accounts with Coinbase is $7,500. Well, the truth of the matter is I didn't have the $1,912 in my bank account. So that's the truth of the matter. So what I did do is I did do the $300 transaction where I bought $300 worth of Litecoin, and I'm going to show you how to do that with screen prints. And then I'm also, to end the video, just show you what that $270 investment turned into in the last 6 days. So to open up a Crypterra account is actually very easy and probably a little bit too easy. But what you would do is go to crypterra.net, click on the sign up button at the top right. You'll get this small registration form to fill out. It just asks for an email, a password. You'll repeat the password. You'll click the terms that you agree to them, and then you'll click register. When you get inside of the Crypterra, I guess that's the dashboard screen, there'll be an update now button, and you'll just click on that. And what that does is sends an email to the email address you registered for. And then when you go into your email, there'll be a link for you to click back to your Crypterra account. Once you're in Crypterra again, you'll go to your settings tab. You'll enter the account info, the information about yourself. And there's also a spot for you to put in your Bitcoin wallet address. And that is the address that you would get from your Coinbase account that you already have or that you're going to start because you just saw excellent information about it in this video. So as a reminder, don't forget to click the links in the description below this video. There's links for Hashflare, Crypterra, and Coinbase. Okay, so now what I want to show you now is how I was able to fund my Crypterra account to buy the Ethereum hash. So from Coinbase, you'll go to your accounts tab. You'll enter the amount of money in the US dollar box. In this case, I wanted to buy $300 worth of Litecoin. If you're asking why Litecoin, Litecoin's transactions are faster than Bitcoin. And since I'm just going to do this transaction real quickly in order to get my Ethereum hash, it doesn't matter whether it's Bitcoin or Litecoin, but I want to see the transaction complete faster, and that's why I picked Litecoin. So also notice on the screen that the weekly limit is $300 for a credit card and Coinbase. So I enter $300 in the US dollar box, and that automatically translates it into whatever that means in Litecoin. I also want you to notice the Coinbase fee of $11.51. So these fees that Coinbase charges are not cheap by any means. There are videos on the internet that you can look at on YouTube that show you how to minimize these fees by going through GDAX. But that's another topic for another video. Okay, and then once you feel that your screen looks good, you would click on the Buy Litecoin Instantly button to complete the transaction. The next screen will be a confirm your transaction screen. Everything looks good. You'll click the button and then you'll get a success purchase screen. Okay, now we have the Litecoin that we need inside of our Coinbase wallet, and now what we need to do is to now send it to Crypterra in order to buy the Ethernet hash rate that we want. The next step is to go into Crypterra, find your mining tab, click on it, and then scroll down to get to the portion of the screen where your coin is sitting. In this case, I wanted to do Ethereum, so I'll scroll down to Ethereum. I have about $282 worth of Litecoin in my Coinbase wallet. So the best I could do was to buy $270 worth of Ethereum hash rate. which amounted to 36 mega hash. So I slide the slide to the right to match that amount. Also notice on the screen to the right in a box, there's like projections they give you. Remember, the projections are based on the current price of the coin that you're mining. So Ethereum is doing well as of today. And if Ethereum can kind of stay in that price range, these are the projections that I probably will see over a 2-year period. Okay, now if everything looks good, I'll press checkout, and that will lead me to another summary screen. And I will click the button to move forward if everything looks good. And then at that point, I have to make a choice how I'm paying. In my circumstance, I want to pay with Litecoin. So I'll click that box, I'll accept the terms, and then I'll click the button to move forward. At that point, a screen will come that will give you information that you will need in order to put that information into your Coinbase wallet. Let's take a moment to really analyze this screen because this is important. If you notice, there's instructions that tell you that you have to enter the exact amount of Litecoin that Crypterra is showing on the screen inside your wallet, as well as it gives you the Litecoin wallet address for Crypterra. So what you would do is copy and paste this information into Coinbase. Now let's look at Coinbase and be very careful because everything has to be exact. So what I did is I copy and paste the Litecoin wallet address of Crypterra into the appropriate field in Coinbase. Remember, this is the accounts tab in Coinbase. And then what I did is I took the exact amount that Crypterra instructed me of, and I copied and pasted that into the Litecoin field, and that automatically translates it into US dollars. And I made sure that my Litecoin wallet was the wallet that was selected on that screen. If everything looks good, again, just be careful. Check everything. If everything looks good, then I'll click the button to continue. The next screen shows you the 2-factor authentication screen. Once everything is good, then it shows you that the transaction is on its way. Then I'm showing you a screen of the pending status of the transaction, and then also the history when I purchased the Litecoin and then sent it to Crypterra. Now, once you make the transaction in Coinbase, when you go to Crypterra, you'll see a payment processing screen. It will explain to you that it will take a little while and then it's going to send you an email. And this is what the email looks like that Crypterra is going to send to you when the process is complete. Then when you go back into Crypterra, you'll see the hash rate assigned to the coin that you're mining. So let's take a quick look at the $270 investment I made into Crypterra. The first day I earned $7.03. Then on January 9th, I earned $20.41. Then on the 10th, it was up to $25.35. On the 11th, it was up to $33.52. On the 12th, it was up to $47.75. And today's total, when I checked it earlier, it was up to $61.56. That is not bad for a $270 investment. So again, I hope that I've given you enough information that will allow you to make your mind up as to whether coin mining is good for you. I also went into a lot of detail about a lot of different things. Remember, if you're a newbie and you haven't quite started your journey into cryptocurrency, do not delay. Definitely get your cryptocurrency wallet set up. Again, Coinbase is a good starting point. And again, use my links for Coinbase, Crypterra if you decide to move forward with that, or Hashflare. All of the links in the description. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to CryptoRobert. I really like this guy's content. He really dives into the terms and conditions and all of the little fine print. And he really gives you, in layman's terms, a good description of all his research. So last but not least, thanks again for giving my videos a chance. I definitely appreciate it. This is Rochelle from Multiple Passive Streams of Income. Until next time, take care of yourself and others. Take care.
Y'all ready for this?